you doing, Vini? How's the
I'm
life there?
fine, man. I'm fine here. Is everything good? Can't complain. Uh, you know, made some friends here. Wives, she's happy, especially about the weather here in the US, you know.
How is the weather there like?
Yeah, man, it depends. During the we have winter here, you know. No snow. You don't have snow here, but you're gonna feel cold here. But during the summer, man, that's it's pretty hot, man. Even for me from Rio de Janeiro, it's here. It's hotter than Rio de Janeiro because you know in Rio, uh, you have midday. I mean the hottest sun, and then about 6 p.m. or something like that. It's nighttime. But here in Texas, man, even 10 p.m. or midnight, you have 40 degrees Celsius, you know.
Wow, man. Yeah, that's it, man. In Texas, man. That's like the hottest part of America, isn't it?
Man, I don't know, man. I'm new here. I'm living here for 1 year and a half. There's a lot, a lot of states to know, but here it's pretty hot, man. Texas is Texas is crazy, man. But we are happy here, you know.
Yeah, man. And how's your son doing?
Man, he's doing fine, you know. He was born there in the UK, got here when he was a little bit less than 1 year old, and now here he before the COVID-19, he was going to the daycare, so he's already speaking English way better than me, you know.
Wow, man. That's super cool, man.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And how is Jiu-Jitsu there, Vinny?
Oh man, jiu-jitsu here, yeah, it's good, you know. You have a lot of clubs to choose before moving to the US. When I was there in the UK, I was looking for a place to keep training here, and then I found Brilliant Grace, which he graduated my master, Vini from
Wow.
white belt until the purple belt in Rio. And then Gideon Grace, he had to move to the south of Brazil to open his branch there. And then my master got his black belt under Euler Gracie. So I was a kind of, keeping the lineage.
Yeah.
So I went, just like I did there, at Força. I went to the place, to the Jiu-Jitsu club with no gi, just went there to take a look to the training and feel the environment, and I felt good, And yeah, I'm training here. I'm happy here.
Yeah. And how is
Yeah.
this COVID-19 there, Vinny? How is the situation there at the moment? Is it easing off or is it still like chaotic?
Uh, so here in Texas, as you have a lot of space, you can wake up in the morning and you get inside your car and you go and you can drive anywhere. You don't have to see or touch people if you go to the streets here, in Texas. So the situation here in Houston is it's not like Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, or like I saw there in London with my colleagues that are still working there. On the 18th of May, I think, yeah, we got back to Jiu-Jitsu here with several specific measures of safety. I'm rolling with only one guy, my guy Chris. Hey Chris, don't know if you're there, but thank you for that, man. And yeah, life is going back to normal here, man.
So then, how
Thank
does it?
God.
So when you train, you have just one partner when you're training.
I
You can train
just
with the
have
same guy.
one. That's it, Andrea. I just have one partner. He came here to my house during the quarantine before getting back to train. He came here to get some skateboards, you know.
Yeah.
So, and when the my actual professor, Drew Lockwood, he was like of pairing the training partners, and he asked me if I met anyone, and I said I met Chris, and that's it, man. He's my partner for 2 years, 2 years, 2 weeks already, man. That we are rolling. But
That's
I do
cool.
believe that as from next week, we should have more people in the gym. I don't know. We should receive something by email.
But then when you go to the gym, you just go like just gonna be you two at the mat. So there's no one else.
Just myself and Chris, and the professor. He's in another place in the gym. Okay, he's not following the train. It's a flow roll that I do with Chris, and that's it, man. I got my temperature checked before step inside the gym,
Yes.
and yeah, it's beautiful, man. I can complain. I can
And what
roll.
about changing rooms, Vinny? When you can you go because I saw from the EBJJF they said you cannot get changed at the gym anymore. You have to go with your gi and how is it?
That's how I'm telling you about the life here in Texas, Andrea. You will wake up. I get my gi on, get inside my car, and you won't feel ridiculous. You're walking with the gi on the street. So yeah, I don't even have to go to the changing room or to the restroom, wherever. It's not necessary.
Oh man,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Because
yeah.
the EBJJF there was they sent some recommendations, and I was looking at it, and then they said something about it like that you have to go with the gi, you cannot use the changing rooms, and there's some particular things you have to do, isn't it? Follow, check the temperature, just train with one guy, no classes.
Right, man. There's no classes here.
Yeah, but at least you can train because for us here, it's been like 3 months now, and we couldn't do anything. Like unless you like Todd, that has a wife that trains jiu-jitsu as well, Todd and Jess, or if you are like a Tan that you have like a them at home, so you have like a, a, a mannequin to train. But training with people, like it's been 3 months now since we haven't had the chance to train. So let's see how it's gonna work out.
Yeah, I think every day I talk to my friends in Brazil, especially my step cousin Guilherme. He's going to get his fourth degree on the black belt, and
Wow.
yeah, he tells us that he never spends that much time without dressing the gi on, man. That's weird for him. That's
Yeah, that's
crazy.
it, man. It's very odd. Dan just said that he wish he had a dummy. He doesn't have a dummy. He just, but it's been like, man, it's been crazy because we haven't trained. Like I've been doing these lives now just to be able
Yeah.
to get us together, and it's been like almost 35 lives. So if you split it, like it will be 6 weeks, 6 weeks of lives. And
Yeah.
I started like after a couple of weeks after lockdown. So it's been like almost 40 weeks of almost 8 weeks without training. So it's tricky, yeah, man.
Yeah, that's
And tell us a
crazy.
little bit of the flag. They said the beautiful flag you have behind you there.
Yeah, of course. This is the best football team in Brazil, Vasco da Gama. There's a lot of history behind this flag, man.
That's it, man. I remember Romario, isn't it?
Yeah, Romario, he used to
Romario,
play in Vasco.
my favorite player ever is Romario, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
my
that
favorite.
that player is sick, man. He's,
It's,
he's great.
like I know there's lots of other players that they came after him, but he was just like amazing. He was small and so agile, like nobody could catch him.
Yeah, o baixinho.
Baixinho Romário,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
he used to play foot volley like in the beach as well. Like he was one of the pioneers of the foot volley in the beach, play football in the
Man,
beach.
he was.
And Vinny, tell us a little bit of your martial arts journey. Where did you start?
Oh. So basically, when I was 5 years old, back then in the 80s in Brazil. How old are you, Andrea?
I'm 45.
Oh, so you're gonna yeah, we are about the same generation. You remember when Aurelio Miguel He got the gold medal in
Judo.
Seoul in the
Yeah.
Olympic Games.
Yeah. Judo.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, when I was 5 years old, I got to judo, and it was a kind of a side activity at my school. At my school, you know, and yeah, I was training judo from 8 up to 13 years old, and then during one class in judo, I remember that we got some guests there from jiu-jitsu. Nobody knew jiu-jitsu, you know, late 80s, in the beginning of 90s in Brazil or anywhere.
No.
So yeah, and I remember that, and I said, "Oh man, that's weird." They, you know, the most of the fights on the ground, you know. There's not that much on takedowns, and I was like, "Oh man, that's weird." But anyway, then I would say that my life got upside down, and I had to leave jiu-jitsu. I went to live in a faraway neighborhood in Rio de Janeiro. I lost the connection with a lot of friends on that time, and I was a kind of lost, I would say, you know. But I never quit sports. And then I was working out in a gym center in Vila Balqueire, the new neighborhood that I went for a living. And then I saw some people training jiu-jitsu, and on that time, yeah, you had the UFC. That step cousin that I told you, Guilherme, he was doing jiu-jitsu, and there I met Bruno Bastos. He's a multi-times, you know, IBJF gi and no gi
Yes.
champion nowadays. But on that time, we were all broke, you know. Everyone around 18 or 20 years old. And yeah, I started to train with Bruno. And that was a very special moment in my life because uh, he was putting some efforts on me, you know. So I had the opportunity to do several competitions with him and the team from Nova União. I remember we used to go to his place. He was living with his parents in Vila Balqueire, and to watch Pride. You remember the Pride?
Yes, that's it, man. That was like Anderson
Sakuraba beating the
Silva,
Brazilians,
Shogun.
man. Sakuraba beating the Brazilians, and I remember the time that Vanderlei Silva he
Pô,
won.
that's
He
it.
was the
Ares,
one doing the
Ricardo
revenge.
Arona from Rio de Janeiro. Oof,
Yeah,
man,
absolutely.
legends.
Yeah, yeah. And then yes, I was that was back then in 2099, something like that. And then my life got upside down again, and we went for living in another neighborhood far away from Vila Valqueire. On that time, I was a blue belt, and that time it was a kind of not faithful to change your jiu-jitsu club, the jiu-jitsu
That's
team.
it.
You know,
Yeah.
you're gonna be a creonte.
Creontes, yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah. So
Nowadays it changed, but before, like, it was
yeah,
very strong. Like, even I would say, like, maybe even 10, 15 years ago, it's still like people creontes if you couldn't leave it, the gym at all, isn't it? It was like a like a saga. When you start in the gym, you have to go all the way to the end.
right, you're right. And I have friends that they still think that way nowadays, you know. But anyway, that was the time that I had the biggest gap in my life with no training. And then I spoke to Bruno Bastos, and said, "Man, I need to train. You know, please, could you recommend some place here in Tijuca, the new neighborhood that I was leaving to start training?" And he told me a couple of places, you know. And then I found Gracie Tijuca, and that was the place that I got my black belt, training with
Yeah,
Master Vini Aieta and all the guys. You know, I never saw that much black belts in a mat, man. You know, on that time I was a blue belt, but I remember to see something like 20 or 30 black belts. And there from Grace Tijuca, we had some big names like Saulo Ribeiro, Xande Ribeiro, Fabrício Camões Morango, Vini Pezão Magalhães, Jorge Brito, Treco. There's a lot of guys, Letícia Ribeiro. So there's a lot of stars, man, that came from that mats. And you know, if you see my Instagram, you have some pictures. There's a picture with me and Saulo Ribeiro. He was my idol that time, and he was visiting Brazil, and I had the opportunity, you know, to roll with him and take a picture, and that was amazing.
Yeah, man, I have his book and his brother book as well, like the
Oh,
Jiu
you
Jitsu
got it.
Bible.
University.
Yeah, it's like
University.
amazing, man. University of Jiu Jitsu, isn't it?
Yes.
Uh,
And then got my black belt in 2015. And then I had my life got upside down again, and I got to Sutton, to London, man. And there in London, I spoke to, before moving to London, I spoke to my master, Vini Melo. If he knew anyone there in London for training, he knew Roger Gracie. He met Roger Gracie when Roger Gracie was a kid,
wow.
and but it was, you know, far away from Sutton and Epsom and our neighborhoods there. And then I did the same thing that I did here in the US. I went to Nova Força. I saw on the internet. No gi. I went there. I think that I didn't even speak Portuguese to Ricardo that day. And I was just watching the training, you know, and feeling the atmosphere, the environment of the place. And yeah, man. And then I would like to take the opportunity to say hello to Ricardo and Rita, to say thank you for all the support that they gave me there in the UK. I'm pretty sure that their support made my life easier there, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge difference in culture. Rio de Janeiro, London, man. It was tough, man.
Is yeah, oof, it's completely different, isn't it? Especially Rio de Janeiro, like it's such a place, warm
Yeah,
place, like in all
yeah,
different ways. Like everybody's very connected, talks with everybody. But he's like he's when you know people, then you have a good life. But when you start, you don't know anyone. It's very difficult to get engaged, isn't it?
that's right. And
So,
yeah, it was a company transference from Rio to London, but I didn't know too many people in London that time. So the jiu-jitsu helped me a lot, you know, to feel, you know, adopted, I would say.
it's very, very good. And have you ever done any other martial arts, like a striking one, like a boxing or
Capoeira.
capoeira? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's
I had my family, most of my family is from Bahia, Salvador, you know, and
oh,
capoeira and Salvador, it's, you
roots.
know, same
Yeah,
stuff, man. It's roots, man.
yeah. It's like
Yeah.
we had a guy here last at the beginning of the week. We had a black belt Eddie here, and he said he's from Angola.
Oh man, this guy's quite strong. Don't
Yeah,
tell me.
so he's from Angola. So he said he did
I
capoeira there,
know. I
but the
remember
capoeira
him.
did the bridge for Angola straight to Salvador. It's like Angola,
Right.
Salvador.
I remember him. I had some nightmares with this guy, man.
He's strong, yeah. He's strong, man. And Vini,
He, yeah.
Vini, who is the guy that always helped you, like since from Brazil, from Tijuca, and that always were helping you with the training, and you guys were training together? We had someone that just said that BJJ saved your life. So who was the one that always
Maybe it was
supported
that
you?
guy, man. I didn't read, but maybe it was that guy, man. It's my step cousin, Guilherme. Yeah, no, that guy was always with me, you know. Most of my friends, uh, everyone did jiu-jitsu for a while, you know. I could usually I say to my friends here in the US that there in Brazil, everyone's a blue belt at least, you know. And yeah, all of my it's that guy. He used to say that I was a geek, you know, and the BJJ saved my life. Yeah, but also I have to say thank you to Bruno Bastos, to Ricardo Bastos, you know, the Bastos family from Brazil. Yeah, they helped me a lot, and all my teammates from Gracie Tijuca, man.
uh, Tijuca is like a. They had the best competitions back in the day was on the Tijuca Tennis Club, like where they had all the.
Yes. The world championship used to be there in
Yes,
Tijuca. Yeah,
that's the
and
root.
today I regret, you know, that I didn't go that much to Tijuca Tennis Club, you know.
That's it. Yeah, I have a
Yeah,
friend from Brazil, and he's like he was world champion, I think, twice, like blue belt and purple belt. But because before when he did it, not they didn't have many jiu-jitsu fighters, so he had I think one fight for the blue belt world championship, and then I think he had one fight for the purple belt. So he's a world champion twice, and he had just two fights because they didn't have many competitions back in the day,
yes,
isn't it?
yes. And I don't even remember if we had the division for white belts on that time. I don't
No, it
think
was
so.
just blue. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
blue and
yeah,
then
yeah,
purple. Yeah, no
yeah.
whites.
You're right.
So blue,
You're
purple.
right, man.
It was like not many. White belt is for them before was like it was they wouldn't unless you blue belt. Everybody, as you said, everybody was at least blue belts. That was very
Yeah. Now I remember on that time back then in early 2000. I remember one day that we went to Nova União, Botafogo, where we had Vitor Shaolin,
yes.
and he used to call me 6 months, 6 months, come here 6 months. I had no name, man, on that time, you know. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, man. Oh, and tell us about your game. What's your favorite part of the jiu-jitsu, your game? Do you like to play on the top, on the bottom? And what's your favorite submission, Vinny?
And it depends. Uh, in the beginning, I used to lift a lot when I was younger, so I felt stronger. And then my favorite game on that time was the top game, you know, passing the guard. And but I was a kind of afraid when I was in the bottom game, when I was a blue belt, you know, the beginning of my purple belt maybe, because you know I was a strong guy, and if I couldn't manage to you know lift someone from me, I was like feeling panic, and I said, oh man, I have to improve that. So when I was a purple belt, I was trying that much to set focus on playing on the bottom, and then today I love the half guard. You know, I love half guard game. You know, Bruno Basso was my first professor. I think that I took that from him. I don't know. If I want to rest, I'm gonna do the half guard. I feel comfortable there, you know.
Yes, yeah.
But
We
like Danielle,
just have
has strong association.
Rico
Woo!
Bastos just join us as well there. Man. Just
Yeah,
so tell.
you know Rico Baixos?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, he one of the heads of IBJJF team of referees, man.
That's it, yeah, man.
And
And go for it. He's talking about the flag. He said if the flag is behind the live, the live
can I
gonna
make
fall.
can I make some merchandising for Rico? Rico, look at this, man. Texas Federation.
That's it.
Yeah.
Man. And tell us, do you have a favorite fighter like that you try to mirror the game or learn something from him?
Yes, I have some favorite fighters from the beginning. My favorite fighter was José Marius Perry, Ricardo Arona. When I was, on that time, we were watching a lot of Nogi and Abu Dhabi, and Ricardo Arona, he was killing
Monster.
everyone. Yeah, he was a monster. Then I would say Roger Gracie, all those guys, from old school. Roberto Roleta, that guy was an engine. He's an
Yeah.
engineer, and his game is sick, man. Who else? I would say Bruno. Nowadays, I like Marcelo Garcia. I like André Galvão. I'm watching that young little guy, Mike Musumeci.
Musumeci, yeah.
Yes, I watch. I used to hear and to watch Muhammad Ali on his podcast. Who else? There's a lot of names, man, that I
Yeah.
like to watch, like to hear. Guys from old school, like Margarida, Tererê,
Margarida is so cool,
Jacaré.
isn't it? I would love to see an
Yeah,
interview from Margarida nowadays because he just disappeared. But he was such an animal, like his style, and it was like oh going forward every
man,
time.
he was a killer.
Yeah, he was like a pit bull, man.
Yeah. Last week I was watching Saulo Ribeiro competing on the Masters. Yeah,
Saulo
that guy
Ribeiro.
was my idol as well.
Yeah,
Man,
Saulo Ribeiro.
I have a lot of favorite fighters.
That's good. A
Yeah.
legend. Yeah, man.
Yes, yes. They became legends.
Yeah, they're so good. And Vinny, we have the question that we always ask here. If you're in the fight, in the real fight situation, who would be the three guys that you would pick up? Because you have a broad friendship, so you can pick any one of the three guys that you would pick up to help you.
That's a that's a good question, man. Because as I told you, the majority of my friends they did something before as a martial art, jiu-jitsu, boxing. But there's a guy from Brazil. His name is Jorge Amoros. That guy's sick doing boxing. I remember I remember when we were younger, and doing some trouble on the streets and have fighting there. That guy used to save us. So I would pick Jorge. I would pick from Brazil. You mean, right?
Yeah, from whatever you want, you can choose. You can
I
choose.
think that
Just
I can
tell us
choose.
what.
I can choose Ramon.
Come on, yeah.
That guy is becoming a beast, man. I watch it. I follow him on the Instagram, and I see him playing rugby. This guy's sick, man.
Yeah, he's strong, man. Yeah.
Yeah. And here so I took one guy from Brazil, one guy from the UK, and here from the US, I would take a guy from my club. His name is Devin. He's a brown belt. He looks like a Viking, man. Or even my new teammate here, Rafael Castelo Branco. He's a legend, man, and he's training here with us in the US. This guy is. I have nightmares with this guy.
Yeah,
I took four. Sorry, man.
that's all right, man. That's okay, Vini. Oh, Vini, what would be your words of wisdom to the Nova Força crowd and for the people in Brazil that because here we are like, let's say, we are halfway. We kind of we cannot train, but we can see that soon we're gonna be able to train. In Brazil, I can see that things are starting to get worse. So they're like, and then there for you, you're already getting back slowly to train. So what would be your words of wisdom to us?
First thing, man. I think that this job here that you're doing, it's
Thank,
wonderful to keep your teammates
thank you.
together. You know, exchanging some ideas, man. Keeping the spirit of jiu-jitsu and the connection. Congratulations for that, man.
Thank you, Meros.
Yeah, and there's no other way, man. We have to be patient, you know. But I recommend to everyone to keep doing something at home, with kettlebells or today. I think that nowadays it's easy to find in the internet some kind of training to relieve the stress and keep Flamengo quieto.
Flamengo.
And keep the shade. I don't know, man. Yeah, just to
Good
be
man.
patient because the wave it's going to pass, and looking forward to having the world back to reality, to the normality.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much, Vinny. I know you had a meeting with friends today there, and
Yeah,
you saved us. You joined us here, man, and we miss you here, and we're happy to see that you're doing well there, back in States.
my
And
pleasure, man.
hopefully we can get together again and
Yeah, I
train
hope
together
so.
soon.
Absolutely. I think that after things getting back to normality, I should be going to Sutton sooner or later, and I'm gonna pay you a visit there, man.
Oh, that would be cool, man.
Keep your game sharp, man.
Little. Oh, Vinny, thank you so much, brother. Keep helping us and supporting us there. Like I always bring the smile to my face when I see that you join us to watch it, and it's a pleasure, man. And thank you for helping us and the
Yeah,
support.
we have that time difference here, Andrea. So most of times I'm working here on at this place that it's like a studio that I did here on the second floor. And but yes, man, whenever I can, be sure that I will connect and listen to you guys. And once again, congratulations for this job that you're doing. I'm pretty sure that you are evolving new abilities. It's like interviewing people. You are
Yeah,
improving your English.
thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, look, Rico just said, "Can I go too?" Of course, Rico. If you wanna join the live, would be the best thing to learn a little bit more about all the things that he has to say, isn't it? He's a
Definitely,
legend.
you should interview those guys, Rico,
Yeah,
Pelé, Bruno.
that's it, Rico. If you wanna join us, will be an honor. Fantastic, man. Thank you so much, Vinny. Have a lovely Saturday there. Enjoy the barbecue.
Same to you, Andrea. Please send my regards to Rita, to Ricardo, Ramon, Jake. Where's
Yeah,
Jake, man?
Jake, he's not a big fan of the internet. He came, did his interview. I think was the first one or the second one, and then he just disappeared.
Oh
But at
man.
least he came. I think he was the first or the second one he came in, and then after he just. But he's not a big fan of internet. But it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
He's okay.
Jake, training with Jake in Overforce. It was the first time that I had to tap to a purple belt, man. It was
He's
Jake,
a
man.
machine. Well, he's a black belt now. So for your reward, he just got his black belt like the end of
I
last year.
know, I
So
know, I know. I
yeah,
follow him. I follow him on the
so
on the Instagram.
he's sharp. When he went to Brazil, he gave hard time to the
I
guys there in Brazil. Yeah,
I know the stories.
yeah. So
Yeah.
he's a machine,
So
man.
Jake, Richard, Paul was a good training. I remember Paul. He helped me a lot there in
Oh
you know.
yeah.
I was completely out of shape when I moved to the UK, and I would say thank you to those guys, and I'm looking forward to meeting them quite soon.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Us. Have a lovely
Us.
evening, brother.
Um
Us.
abraço,
Um
irmão.
abração,
Valeu,
irmão.
cara. Tchau,
Com
tchau.
Deus, viu,
Vasco!
brother? Fica com Deus aí, meu brother. Se cuida, viu?
Eu
Um
também,
abração.
irmão.
Obrigado pela
Abração.
força, viu?
Tamo junto
Valeu.
sempre.
Tamo
Abraço.
junto. Us. O cara ali, Rico. Wow.